Hello and welcome to Moonlit Magic, your ritual Astro-Tarot guide for harnessing the energetic rhythms of the moon. This is for the new moon in Pisces, March 13th, 2021. Please subscribe to be notified of moon energy rituals every 2 weeks, both for the full and new moons each month. Moonlit Magic is brought to you by Amoro's Intuitive Studio in collaboration with 2K's Eclectic Oasis, creator of the Moonlit Living Journal, where we're taught to live intentionally with the moon as our guide. Check the description for exclusive access to the moon journal for this lunar phase. So we are talking about the new moon in Pisces, which marks the beginning of a new cycle. The moon is said to be in her dark phase when she travels side by side, hidden by the sun's brightness. And that's what a new moon is. So the moon, what are we even talking about with the moon? Generally, this is going to be our subconscious, our emotional responses and triggers, things that are under the surface. Okay, this is why it's important, or maybe at least thoughtful, to be intentional about paying attention to the moon's energy, because it has a tendency to pull on our emotions and that of others as well. So we know what to receive out in the world and how to kind of let that bounce off of us rather than taking it all in. We're in a Pisces season, which is the sun is in Pisces as well. But first of all, let's talk about what Pisces energy is. Wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving, confuses and softens resolve. So it's deeply emotional and psychic. And we are immersed in Pisces energy right now, not just the moon and the sun. But what does the sun even mean? What does that mean if the sun is in Pisces? It's kind of like this overall, it's this overall thing. So it's like this overarching energy that we have to harness. Okay, almighty, purpose, destiny. It's kind of, this is why I call it a portal. And so that's also mirroring here. So not only is it what's underneath the surface, it's also what's on the surface. So that's why it has so much extra power. On top of that, right now we have even more planets aligned in Pisces, Neptune and Venus. So this is going to be an extra creative and romantic sort of time of alignment with all of these things deep in Pisces. So Venus is going to represent is compassionate, indulgence, just wanting to like treat yourself, your appreciation of aesthetic beauty and personal satisfaction. And then Neptune is going to be like more deep longings. Neptune is also the planet that rules Pisces. So this is like super, super powerful time to go deep into your emotions. And that is actually what we're going to do today in the meditation. We are going to kind of let all of this energy wash through us. Okay. So make sure you stick around for that. Your fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusion. We talked earlier in the week, in the weekly Astro-Tarot reading that is released every Sunday, we talked about releasing illusions. So that might be something that you want to check out just this past week for March 7th through 13th, leading up to this new moon. So make sure you check that out as well. So that is all the energy that we're dealing with right now. So it'll be really interesting to see how we need to handle this period and how we're going to harness it and where we're going to find satisfaction. That is what is up next. Next week, we're going to be bursting into bloom with spring and new beginnings and a brand new ritual that I'm going to introduce for the equinox and Aries season. Spring equinox has been of great cultural significance throughout all times. And many cultures still celebrate new beginnings, rebirth, and purity. we are going to celebrate clearing the stagnant hibernation energy of winter to allow space for the emerging new seeds of spring. So let's start with how to handle this period. Our ancient future. An ancient remembering is emerging. Many of the seed crystals and the knowledge they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. All those who can see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions to bring thorough knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. We are being called back to our roots to acknowledge the infinite wisdom available when we drop to our knees in humble receptivity. To move gracefully forward, we must first stand in our power for the places, ethics, and conversation of what matters most. When we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors. As illuminated beings ready to make a change in the collective consciousness, we can sometimes take on what seems like more than our fair share. We may be clearing some of the wounds from our ancestors. And with that in mind, we can ease through the waves, allowing guidance and empowered perspective to lead us to the greatest good. And after that, I am especially excited for the meditation because it is all about the water, the wave, and letting it wash over you, healing yourself deep in your heart space. And this is March. We have the spring equinox coming. And do not forget again to subscribe, because next week on March 20th, we have the spring equinox and the brand new season, Aries season. So we are getting ready for that. We are preparing our ground, our fertile soil, okay? Because Aries is fire, and that is when we take off. The earth is warming, okay? Things are changing. This is when we're gonna start seeing the seeds that we have planted pop up. And we better hope that we're planting things that we truly, truly want. So I'm gonna help you set your intentions. I'm gonna help you evaluate what your true intentions are from a place that satisfies you most. So next week, we are going to learn a ritual together. I'm gonna teach you a ritual that I just honestly started a few months ago, and it's been blowing my mind. So come back next week for the Aries season shift and spring equinox video. You're really gonna enjoy that. Next up, where will we find satisfaction in this lunar phase? Crystal Ascension. Remember what that thing just said about the seeds, the seeds or crystals. And what this means is, if you've been watching here at all for the past few months, this card comes up a lot. And what it really means is to tune into the little things, the natural things that are in your space. Tend to those, pay attention to them. Don't think that a stone is a frivolous token, okay? Hold on to the things that are meaningful to you, especially things from nature or things that are maybe be handed to you or that you found that remind you of an animal or a child and something that you love. Do not discount those things, those tokens that are meaningful to you. Receiving. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. So if something reminds you, if you have just a token that reminds you of this, to trust yourself, pay attention to that, okay? That may be what we're talking about receiving. Gratitude. I love acknowledging all the little things I am grateful for. Oh, you guys, I love how these come together. It just blows my mind every single time. No matter what I have going on, I always have things to be thankful for. Whenever I am feeling upset, I can fill up a page with the things I appreciate. This begins to shift my mood and focus onto what brings me joy. Okay, so is exactly what I just said. A small token to remind you of this intention. There is always something small to be grateful for. So keep things in your space. I have a lot of altars and different things around all the time, because it really does help me set my intentions. I need reminders everywhere I look. Maybe you do too. Maybe you need more reminders than you think. Maybe you think they're cluttering or whatever, but I'm telling you right now, the more that you can immerse yourself in the energy of gratitude, shifting, and those little things, the little things, when the world outside seems overwhelming, if you have something small that you can focus on, that can make a very big difference. It's all about your lens and your perspective, okay? We are immersed in this Pisces energy right now, and so we have the chance to make really important changes in our lives, perspective shifts. This moon in particular with the Pisces energy can cause us to crave altered states of mind. So sleep, pay attention to your dreams. Meditation, pay attention just to anything that you receive there. It's not frivolous, it's real and true, okay? Prayer. And also, if you're in any altered states of mind that aren't destructive, let's say if you go in a safe space and you use mind-altering substances, pay attention to what you receive there as well, okay? It's sort of inducing like a trance-like state and brings escape from the sharp edges and the harshness of the world. And sometimes we need that in order to focus on the little things, because it can be so overwhelming outside. And like I said before, with all those planets that are aligned right now with this deep, wistful, compassionate, forgiving energy, use that to forgive yourself, okay? So we can move forward. This is a time, like the energy is literally giving you this portal to move forward, okay? To change your intentions. And if you have no idea what your intentions are, to actually set some, so you're not just on autopilot or reacting to everyone else, okay? We want to be growing and helping one another through these really sensitive and vulnerable experiences. We have to have an inner strength to do that, so we are replenishing ourselves as well. So this is a really good time to take a leap of faith, create space for things that express your positive energies. Something to set my intentions towards in this lunar phase. Celebrate life. We got this last week as well. I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on Mother Earth. Not last week. For the full moon in Virgo, we got this card as well. Liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. Release. Today I release limiting beliefs, harmful thoughts, toxic patterns, and anything out of alignment. I am ready for transformation and welcome this shift. Alignment, we just said the word aligning planets. So align yourself with the energy instead of pushing against it. Allow it to carry you and make this a little bit easier, because this might be really, really fucking hard, okay? This whole thing this experience, the healing experience, may be long, hard, harsh. Let yourself have a little bit of escape and softness, okay? To soften this for you. This is for you. It's not that the experience, the trauma, this is so you don't have to experience that pain so vividly and overwhelmingly sharp. You know what I mean? Like all the time. I am creating, and I'm creating space for a new chapter filled with love, abundance, and amazing opportunities. So we're liberating ourselves from a heavy thing that has kept us caged or tied down, and we're celebrating. We're going to celebrate our lives, especially as spring comes and the earth awakens. We get to celebrate a little bit more. Something to be aware of: the sun. I celebrate each sunrise and recognize the healing energies of the sun. The sun also in Pisces. So we have the sun and the moon working together, guiding us. Love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. And that is within. This is blossoming within you, especially right now. Think of the seeds that you're planting, your intentions. This is what you want to blossom inside of you, okay? Let it be love that raises up this season. Unique lives. I respect everyone's individual decisions and way of life. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. It is not my job to change others, but simply to love them. Okay? That's hard. That is hard. That is really hard. But I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just from my own experience that I'm sharing this, that when you focus on you and you let others learn their own lessons, as much as you want to save them, it shows deep honor and love for yourself as well as them. Okay, people will feel more loved if you allow them to live their own lives. Ultimately, they might fight it. They might fight it in the short term, but ultimately, we all want to be who we are. We all want to blossom our own way, and sometimes people just get a little bit too used to being helped, and they don't know how, and they're afraid to go off on their own. Okay, a lesson I may face. Nature spirits. I respect all of nature's elemental beings to help preserve life on Earth. We're getting a lot of Earth messages, and now while this is a conscious spirit, we are getting a lot of messages that say the word Earth. Okay, as spring arises, that's something that we really want to consider. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. The subconscious mind. I realize that the subconscious beliefs or programs may be holding me back from my desires. For example, if I want money, I may have been told things growing up that I am subconsciously holding on to. Excuse me. So I go back to my past and release beliefs that no longer align, substituting them with ones that do. Align yourself. We are moving into spring, like I just mentioned, and you're again and again we're being directed out to the earth and to let go and liberate ourselves from things that are out of alignment. Okay, your alignment is your responsibility, and it is your gift to yourself. I promise you that. I can only promise you that. You have to choose. You have to choose that for yourself. Alignment is very personal. It is only for an individual to decide if they are living true to themselves. Okay. Accepting imperfections in ourselves and others as a different kind of perfection is going to be something that we're going to do in this time if we allow ourselves. Okay. We're going to, those positive energies that we're going to take leap of faith into, those are going to be new perspectives. But when we jump into that seed that we planted is tweaked just a little bit to actually suit what satisfies us in our souls. Okay. So this is a perfect time to sit and think of a project that you have wanted to start forever, right? Something that's kind of nagging at you in the back of your mind that has been requiring space for imagination and creation and design. Give yourself the space to do that. Consciously put time aside for peaceful, rejuvenating activities. Share your emerging dreams with people who feel both honest and kind. The type that will encourage you, but also will tell you the truth when it's important that you note, you may not be noting your own hesitancy or your own confusion. Let others help you. Let others who can stand back a little bit from your situation help you. Okay, just a little bit. And so now, perfect timing, a resource I should pay attention to. The heart chakra, this came up last week as well. Excuse me, for the full moon in Virgo. I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. That's exactly what I just said. Nurture the people who fill you up, the reciprocal people, the people you don't have to beg or chase. Self-love. Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. In order to know what relationships honor us, we have to know how to honor ourselves. Present. In this present moment, I have nothing to worry about. I take life step by step as I follow my desires and intuition, joyfully overcoming any bumps along the way. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. Okay, so the more that you trust yourself and anchor in to this heart space, the more present, the more safe you feel in the present, the less anxiety that you carry around, because there's a wisdom, there's an understanding of life that there's not as much capacity for when you carry worry around, when you are scattered and trying to maintain the lives of others or situations beyond your control. You spend most of your time kind of patching things up and you don't have as much energy. While you may be making a huge impact in the world and you may be creating extravagant and magnificent things, not my judgment, you could do so much more if you are able to shift your perspective a little bit around caring for others in a way that it's not a disconnection or a detachment, but it's a holding space rather than a holding worry. A holding space for that person to anchor into themselves rather than hanging on to a worry on behalf of something for someone that you cannot change, okay? It's just a soft tweak. And don't think that it's not caring to protect yourself and have boundaries and liberate yourself from relationships that take from you. At least at this point, people will come to meet you. People who care for you truly will meet you there. They will go with you. While we may be accessing some really deep, triggering energy, maybe, the ethereal is much more accessible to us right now to soothe us through different things like meditation, prayers, rituals, even like chanting, singing, sound clearing, dancing. As we let down our boundaries. But if we're not confident in our abilities to harness our energetic protection, it could lead us to feeling oversensitive and impressionable. So what is an effective way to clear our energy? Water elemental. What did I tell you about the meditation coming up? Definitely stick around for that. I allow my body, mind, and spirit to flow intuitively through the changes of life. This meditation coming up is, just wait for it. You'll see. You'll see. Allowing. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. And that is a flow, right? That's definitely a trust in our own present. That's a trust in ourselves. And that's something that you cannot do and let go of control of what's coming in, okay? If you don't trust yourself, you have to trust yourself first. Releasing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself. Freeing myself and expanding to love. To love, okay? Releasing something, a wound, some harm that's been done to you. It's like the pain is valid, the wound is valid, but you are the one that is harmed again and again and again by having to relive that, okay? So we're clearing our energy. We're being asked to release anger and allow instead radical acceptance to reality in any given moment, so you can create space for what's coming next. So again, stick around for that meditation, because you're really going to want to do this. If this might help you release something that's being held on to, maybe you don't even know where it's being held, but it is being held in your body, and that's exactly what we're going to go through in the new moon meditation. So how else might the energy of a new moon in Pisces make us feel? Dreamy, nostalgic, and euphoric, maybe. Intuitive, compassionate, and sensitive. Maybe fuzzy, vague, or confused. It could cause us to crave more sleep, spiritual meditation, drugs, and alcohol. Be aware that if not addressed early, this emotional stress that we're carrying in our bodies creates susceptibility to hopelessness, depression, and despair that can be felt in the harshness of the world. And it's very valid and real. But if you are feeling that you cannot handle this yourself, or you have thoughts of harming yourself or others, please never feel shame in seeking professional help. So our very last message is the final message from the cosmos. Flames of wisdom. I am open to all of life's wisdom, and I share it with gratitude. And look at how we came full circle back to gratitude. Divine Source, help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that I have a plan, or that you have a plan, and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. Every moment you are provided for, and that is something that we have to trust. Okay, and if we trust that we are provided for, we can trust that others are also provided for, and that if we can right we can turn our ship around, you know, so can anybody else. It's not personal. People's reactions or opinion of me are not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember that they have something going on and it has nothing to do with me. The flames of wisdom, divine source, telling you that when people are reacting to you in this deep time, or remember this, if you're reacting to others, it is not personal. We have things going on inside that we are working through in healing and dealing with. And we see again how we come full circle to gratitude. I am super excited for you to experience this meditation. I cannot wait. Again, this is for the power of our own divine intent. We are going to grant permission to ourselves to free our body from energy that weighs us down and makes us sick. Please comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed this, that this is making a difference in your life, because we are going to keep making these videos and they're just going to get better from here. Please subscribe so you can be notified of these rituals for the full and new moons every month. And next week, March 20th, the Aries season shift and the shift into the spring equinox, and I cannot wait to show you the brand new ritual that is going to take this meditation you're about to experience one step further to grant yourself permission and actually release this stuff from our body. And then we're gonna bring the potential of what we truly want into real life. Next up, the meditation, where we are going to trust in the power of our own divine intent, grant permission to ourselves to free our body from energies of emotional stress that can manifest into mental illness and physical addictions and disease. If you don't feel quite ready to sink into something like that yet, please visit our last meditation from the snow moon in Virgo that will help you further identify the thoughts, connect them to your feelings in your body, and set your intentions from a deeply satisfying place for you personally. Take a deep, deep breath. Continue to breathe slowly and allow it to soften gently as we begin to set our intentions to grant permission to ourselves to believe in the creation potential of our pure intent, that we're born with that natural place in our heart space. I don't have to describe it to you because it's the place that feels like home. It may be the only place that feels like home. So allow yourself to surrender at this time. And if it's the first time, don't be surprised if you begin to feel persistent stirrings of who you truly are. And don't be shocked if they begin to shake up areas of your life where you've been choosing to hold on to stagnant ideas about yourself or what you deserve. You must grant yourself permission to take responsibility for your path thus far. Decide to plant yourself in a new life that is created by the pure potential of the intentions in your heart space. Only you can choose to believe that you possess this and you are valuable enough innately, just existing, to use it. If you're ready to take the next step, place your hand on your heart with pure intent and trust in your innate protection. Say, I am ready. Tell me what it is I need to know. At this place, allow the love of being yourself, of taking a step towards making friends with the parts of yourself you've tried to control and change. Hold yourself just a little bit tighter. Make sure your heart knows that your hand is there and that you're here, that you're listening. Feel that inner knowing that each choice to love yourself as you are brings you closer to your own inner satisfaction. If you feel stuck here, I want you to take a real look at where that originates. And can you identify it in your body? Is it in your physical gut? Can you allow the wisdom of the divine inside you, directing you, to hold it physically? Hold your hand there. Allow it to rest into you. Let her crying out for your love be heard. Do you have the courage to tell the anxiety that's screaming in your guts to stop before it moves into your mind to bully you out of the love that you deserve? So let's decide right here and now what this is. If you're ready to wash this away, please sit here with me. Place your hands on your body, one on your heart, one on your guts, your stomach, your solar plexus. Sit here as long as you need to until you feel the knot or fear, that stuck feeling, begin to melt away. Allow it to dissolve. Are you ready to allow the wave of love from inside of you, from all that is, to flood into your heart, through your body, and to overflow into the world? Are you ready to allow it to wash over you? Will you allow it to drown the voices that are telling you you are anything but magnificent? Will you let it fill you until you are able to pour out
into the lives of others who are dying to quench this same inner thirst. Are you ready? Please sit here as long as you need to. Thank you so much for being here.